All right. I think we are good. All right. I hope everybody is doing well. I'm just trying to get organized. Hold on. Before we start, I better have a drink of energy. All right. Good evening, everybody. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope your week has been good. It is Friday, so here we are with the weekend, ready to rock and roll, which would be a good thing as well. I looked at my receipts from the last couple of years, 9% inflation. Yeah, right. A lot of that stuff has doubled or more. Yeah, it's I love when they say that, and everything is manipulated. It's always manipulated. It's just part of what happens, unfortunately. So it's part of the game. It's part of the game that we're all dealing with at this point in time. So all right. Before we get into everything, I just want to remind everybody that this is a very family friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. And if you can abide by those very simple, easy rules, those awesome people in blue will boot you out of here because we are not going to have it. So, real simple. I don't know. It can't be much simpler than that. I just ask everybody to be decent and nice, and we'll have a great chat, and we'll enjoy each other's company. And but so, if you were watching my earlier video today, I had to replace the battery in my Harley because it definitely was not working right anymore. That happens. Part of what are you going to do? I mean, it's just one of those things we got to deal with, and so that's what happens. And so there we are. But well, I'm looking at something real quick. Okay, but yeah, so one of those things that we all need to be paying attention to, looking ahead for. We never know what's going to happen. So checking batteries, checking components. Do you have backups to your backups? Those are always a good thing. When batteries are not used regularly, they go down, and that's the problem. With that, in New York, you're looking at 6 months of the year for the most part that you're not going to be riding. I mean, that's New York. So, what are you going to do? There's not much you can do about that. It is part of what happens, and you can't do nothing about it. That's why I'll be happy to get the bike down to West Virginia. Probably not on this trip. Maybe on the next trip. I'm not 100% sure yet. I got to see how things get organized and settled out down there before I think about bringing the bike down. But I definitely would like to get it down there for the winter, and that way, when I want to go ride, I can just go and ride. So, uh, in the winter, hubby removes the battery from the mower and keeps it inside. Not a bad idea. No, that's not a bad idea at all. Yeah, definitely gonna be better for the batteries if you do that. All right, so we're going to be talking about what are the threats right now. I want to get into the chat here, guys. So we're going to be talking about what are the threats that we have to, and actually it's the threats right now, and then later on down the road. That's what we're going to talk about. And so we're going to get into that. What do we got? 202 in the chat. We're at 73 on the thumbs up. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, Pablin one, I don't disagree with you at all. I don't. We're going to get into that. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel, and I thank you ahead of time for that. I do appreciate it. It really does make a big difference with the algorithms as well. So thank you for that reason as well. The third thing, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications. So we're going to talk about this one topic first, which kind of ties into what we're talking about, the threats that are happening that we have that we're going to have to deal with now. And then we're going to talk about this first because this is a direct correlation to that. All right. As they continue to try to push for more control, I think Biden was coming out with wanting to do some kind of registry where you have to report what you have weapons wise and stuff like that. And I'm gonna be as clear as I possibly can be. And I don't know if I can be any more clear. All right. Nazi Germany did a gun registry way back then in the 30s. Remember that? I don't know. Some of you may remember if you study history at all. Nazi Germany did a gun registry because they're going to just make sure everybody's safe and they got the right stuff and blah blah blah. Shortly thereafter, there was a gun confiscation. Registration leads to confiscation. Do not be fooled. Do not think that there's, oh no, this is not what's going to happen. Uh, and I'll say it again: registration leads to confiscation. History repeats itself. It repeats itself over and over and over again. And if you are foolish enough to believe that they really give a crap about you, you go ahead and do what you got to do. I'm not telling you you should do this or you should do that. I'm not telling you what you should do. That is one thing that I will not say. Okay, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I just yeah, criminals do not register their weapons. Well, I just shared a meme on Facebook the other day, and it said if they want to get rid of guns, why don't we start with the criminals first, right? Because criminals don't care about gun laws. They don't care about registration. They don't care about any of that type of thing. They just don't care. They don't care if they go back to prison. That's not what they, they've been there. They know what the deal is, and they're just going to continue to do what they're going to do. So, but do you have to show registration when you go to a shooting ranges? That I don't think so. I've never seen. I've been to a couple shooting ranges in my time, and I've never had to do anything like that. So, but generally, I lived in the country most of my life, so I just you know I just always shot wherever I was at. So, Jen says, Ed, how are things in West Virginia? It's awesome down there. I love it. I can't wait to get back. Being honest, can't wait to get back. And so, but well, so he says only handguns. Okay, well, you're in New York State. They did a registry a few years back where they wanted everybody to register their rifles. So it's not just handguns. So, but yeah, in New York, they want you to you have if you buy something new. Let's put it like this right now. If you went to the gun store in New York today and you got a rifle, it is registered. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's how it has to be. If you end up selling that rifle, you better have a paper trail to show where you got rid of that and how you got rid of that. So that's New York, and that's why I spend as little time here as I possibly can now. So, but like I said again, don't be fooled. Don't ever be fooled. They are not looking out for our best interest in any way, shape, or form. James Yeager passed away. I don't know if you followed him. I don't even know who that is, to be honest with you. I have no idea who that is. So, what was his channel's name? I don't even know. What was his channel? But so West Virginia, I will tell tactical response. Yeah, I did not follow his channel, so I don't know him. But how old was he? So West Virginia, as long as you have a West Virginia driver's license, you can open, conceal carry, no permit needed. You don't have to register anything. It's your constitutional right to do what you want to do. And that's one of the reasons I love being in West Virginia, because I can open carry with no ramifications. Nobody's going to be calling the police on you because oh my God, they're carrying a gun on them. So when you live in the woods, you really kind of need to have a gun. That's just my take on it. So, but hey, Philip, glad to have you here. Um, but yeah, you can do either one. in West Virginia. With there's no permits. You don't have to get permission. You know, so that's just kind of how it goes. And obviously, you need to be a responsible gun owner. You can't be an idiot. You shouldn't be out flashing it or pulling it out and brandishing at anybody. That's not like I said, it's a tool that's to be used in an extreme situation. So, but anyway, immediate threats that we have right now. I would absolutely, if you listen to the speech from Biden the other night, it's a very clear who our biggest threat is right now. He's trying to play from this playbook, again, and saying, oh, basically lumping anybody that possibly supported Trump as a bad actor, a danger to society, and all this other nonsense. And he did backpedal today on that what he said, but it did. The speech was pretty clear, and so it's just a big game, and they're still trying to go off of the whole Trump you know thing, and anybody that supported Trump and congressmen and senators that supported Trump, they're bad and all this kind of stuff. The danger is the government taking away our rights. That's the danger. Control, control, control. I'm going to tell you what, I want you to look at this situation, right? So, and I'm going to use an example of this so you truly understand. Now, since Biden got in office, we have gas prices are still more than double what they were before he got in office. They're still more than double. Okay. Uh, I know up here in New York, what did I pay the other day? $4.13 a gallon here in New York. It's under $4 in West Virginia. I think it was $3.96 in West Virginia. Still way too high. Still way too high. But it's more than double still from when Biden got in office. Now they try to blame it on Putin and everything else, but gas prices were high way before Putin, got into his war. They were way high before then. But the question that I want you to understand, what I want you to get on this, okay? If things are so bad and things are so tough, why are oil companies right now making record profits over the last 2 years? Look it up. If I'm BSing you, you say Prepper Nurse One's full of crap. That's not true. Look it up. Okay. Record profits. They're doing fantastic. They're making money. So who's getting manipulated here? Who's getting manipulated? We always, always, always will be. Frederick Nolan, open carry and empty chamber. Frederick Nolan, no, that's not the way it should be. You can open carry, you better have one in the chamber. The time that you need to pull chamber around, you could be dead. So no, you definitely should have one in the chamber. You should have one ready to go. Absolutely. Just putting that out there. I got that advice. I got that advice from a police officer, just so you know. It's not some dude, just some random dude. A police officer said, if you don't have one chambered, you might as well be carrying an empty gun. So you're not going to, if the time when you need to use it, all right, you better have it ready to go. All right. So just putting that out there, uh, you know, oil companies made record profits in the second quarter. Isn't that shocking? Wow. So who's benefiting, right? Oil's still there, guys. Oil hasn't gone away. Hasn't gone away. We're taking down our reserve stock of oil, and we're selling it to countries like India and also in China. That's who we're selling that to. That's been proven. I'm not making that up either. So it's like, this is all information that is out there. It's information that you can look. So while we're paying ridiculous amounts of money for our gasoline, they're taking money out of the strategic reserve and selling it overseas. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting how that works? Oil companies, Yeah, they haven't had to reinvest. No, they have. They're making money hand over fist, making money hand over fist. So if there was really this shortage, right? If there was really this shortage and we had to have these high gas prices, the oil companies would be making the same kind of money that they were making before, but they're not. They're making more money. So no offense, but you could not pay me enough money to live in California. I got to agree with that. I'm Randy Romines. I agree with you on that 100%. I'm like I said, I'm happy to be spending most of my time out of New York State as well. California and New York, hand in hand, absolutely hand in hand. Do we have a troll in here? Because somebody's saying bye to somebody. What did I miss? I must have missed something in the chat. I missed something. So I didn't miss anything. Okay, I don't know, but hey, Mountain Kayaker, it's all part of the evil World Economic Forum plan. Things are getting worse and worse, and I don't disagree with that either. Things are continuing to get worse. Um, oh, she had to run. Okay, I thought there might have been some kind of drama that I missed in the chat. So, but you know, we're continuing to have to deal with a lot of stuff. Um, Doc Scott said, "I'm glad I'm back in West Virginia. I can't wait to get back. I'll be honest with you. Everybody knows I'm going to be going to a concert here. I'm going to go up to Boston and I'm going to go see Aerosmith. And so I'm looking forward to that. That should be fun. Should be a good time. But then as soon as that's done, I can't wait to hightail it back to West Virginia. I got things I want to do down there. There's some things that I got to take care of. And so that's what I'm going to be doing. And I can't wait to get back there and get back at it. And I know Hella is missing her one-on-one time with her daddy. So um, she is very spoiled. Even like when she's in the house, if one of the other dogs come up to me, she gets up and gets right in the way. She doesn't want them to get any of the attention. She wants it all. So, but anyway, these are things. So these companies are making ridiculous money. The power companies are making ridiculous money. So it's like it's all a manipulation, it's all a game, and it's all a blame game. It's always somebody else's fault. It's not our fault. It's this person's fault. It's not the administration's fault because of the policies that they've put in place. I don't even know who's playing with Aerosmith, to be honest with you, Karen. I have no idea. I have no idea who's opening for him or anything. I really don't. So, but I just think it'll be a lot of fun. What's the day for next Thursday? Next Thursday up at Fenway Park. The rehabilitation tour. That's right. He just got out of rehab. We were watching that to see if that concert was going to be canceled or not canceled. So, yeah, I'll be honest with you guys. I have not been to a concert in years. Years. It's just I remember one of the last concerts that I had gone to was a Metallica concert. I was in my late 20s, and I was like, I'm too old, too old. But I'm sure Aerosmith will be a much older crowd, is my guess. That's what I'm thinking. So, but yeah, it should be a fun concert. I think it'll be a good time. But open carry with mag ready to throw in the chamber. Hey, Frederick, we can sit here and argue this back and forth all day. I'm going to put it to you like this. I'll put it to you like this. Me and you were in a confrontation, Frederick. Okay. We both think the other guy's a bad guy. We both pull our pieces, right? Because I got one chambered, you will go down way before you ever get that first round chambered. That's the point that I'm making. If you don't have one in the chamber, you might as well have an empty gun. Period. And that's just a fact. And you're talking about seconds. You know, and those matter in that type of situation. So just putting that out there, just so you can kind of understand. But that's my thought process. Yeah, yeah, Frederick, you won't have time. The bad guy will be chambered, right? And that's exactly what my point is. So maybe rethink that. You can still do whatever you want to do. You got to do what's comfortable for you, and I get it. But I will tell you what, I will always be ready to rock and roll. That's just me, because when that time comes, I don't want to have to think. I want to react, or I want to act, not react. So that's kind of where I'm at with that one. But anyway, so um, the immediate threat is whatever they're trying to push on us to continue to keep prices, food prices, ridiculously high. What you have to ask yourself, all right, and I'm not making any speculation. I'm not saying it as anything is connected in any way, shape, or form. But why would Bill Gates be one of the largest landowners in the country in farmland, owning a tremendous amount of farmland? Why would that be? There's got to be something to do with that. Okay. Not saying that it's some nefarious plot or, any of that type of thing. I just find it interesting, I guess is the right word, that this guy who's a tech guy, right? And now he's the shot guy. uh, why all of a sudden is he buying up all this farmland all over the place like that? Land with aquifers. Well, that's of course. Why wouldn't you buy land that you have, you know? And how? And realistic. And here's the thing that I really truly don't get with those type of people, with people like Bill Gates, Allen, the Koch brothers, Soros. How much is enough? How much is enough? I mean, you're stinking filthy rich to a point of obscenity, realistically. You know, how much is enough? And what are you doing realistically? So here's a good question I would have. Like Elon Musk. Elon Musk is trying to do different things, I believe, and just my take on it. And I don't know Elon Musk. I haven't had a conversation with him, but I think he's trying to do things to help people. That's my take on it. Okay. Hey, Mountain Kayaker, Canada has a factory producing crickets for food consumption. Yeah, and that's not good. That's not good at all. Yeah, I have no desire to be eating crickets. Okay. But my going back, thank you so much for the donation, and thank you for letting us know that information as well. Uh, the question that I would have: what, with all this money that these people have, Paul Allen, Bill Gates, all those ridiculously rich people, couldn't they be doing things that are helpful to society? Invest in things that would help people. You know, you don't even have to do the green energy. You don't even have to go that route. How about sustainable gardens, teaching people and educating people how to get back into growing your own food and stuff like that? Well, heaven forbid that they do that, because they can't make any money off you if you grow your own food, right? Those are things that I always have questions about that. Always have questions about that. How much is enough? Uh, you know, it just it is amazing to me. It really truly is. But anyway, so our government is our direct and most feared threat, if you will, right now. Okay, so that there's no other. Are there bad actors out there? Are there? Do I believe that there are sleeper cells in this country? I absolutely do. I don't have anything to back it up and prove it, but there's a lot of people that hate us, that have bad intentions for us, and I think they're bedded down right now in America, biding their time, waiting for their orders to do what they need to do. That wouldn't shock me at all. Wouldn't shock me at all. There are camps. This is actually a fact. There are camps in different parts of the countries, of our country, or, excuse me, our country, that are training facilities for these type of people. They're there. Our government knows they're there. So why? Why did they let it continue to happen? You know what I mean? That's a good question. And then who are they calling the bad guys, right? Middle class Americans that are working hard, that are tired of the crap, that want to be self-sufficient. They want to live off grid. They want to be free. They want to be self-sufficient. They want to generate their own power. They want to do all these different things. And when you have these towns and municipalities and cities and stuff completely restricting you, what you can do to be self-sufficient. And I'm going to use a great example, that lady down in Florida that got cut off the power, uh, was collecting rainwater to use for the different things that she needed because she was in Florida and it rains a lot in Florida. Well, they ended up condemning her home, because she was not hooked up to the grid anymore. So when you watch what is done and who benefits from these things, what's wrong with her? She's not bothering anybody, and her house doesn't stink, and it's not a horrible place. Who cares what she does, right? People that are making a lot of money off of people care, because if one person does it, more people will do it. They'll say, hey, look at this person's doing this. That's a good idea. I think I'll do it as well. And that's how it starts. And as more people like that, let's look at a great example, guys. Great example. Tiny house movement, right? Wasn't there a big push for the tiny house movement? And all of a sudden, all these towns, all these municipalities, and all these different places all of a sudden came through. Red House, Virginia is a no-go zone, Muslim terrorist training camp. Wow. Okay. Thank you, Pam, for sharing that information. I do appreciate that, and thank you very much for the donation as well. So yeah, there's spots. There's spots here in New York that are the same thing, and they know they're there. They know they're there. So how did anyone know she wasn't hooked up? I don't know, Randy Romines. That I don't know the answer for that, but I can prep to add. My land is clear. I will send you photos this weekend. Cool. I appreciate that. That'd be cool. I'd like to see what you got happening there. That's awesome. Step by step, guys. Step by step. That's the important thing. A little bit at a time, even though we would all like things to be completed yesterday, which would be great, but that's not reality. As long as you are working towards your goal, you'll be all right. Well, okay, so somebody says probably a neighbor snitched. Probably. But let's look at something else, okay? And I just saw this in a comment today. And the person said that where they live, they can't even put solar panels on their balconies or their porches because the homeowners association won't allow it. So think about that. You own this piece of property, but here's the rules that you have to abide by because of the homeowners association, which you are also paying dues to the homeowners association as well. To me, that's insanity. I would never be part of anything where I had to be part of an association that dictated to me what I could and could not do. Not ever going to happen. So it's insane. That's insanity. Absolute insanity. So, but anyway, let's talk about after a true SHTF event, who is your biggest threat then? Okay. And I know we've gone over this a little bit before. We've talked about this a little bit, but your true threats after an SHTF event are going to be actually, there's two groups of people. Your family that did nothing, that know that you prep, that now feel like you owe them, that it's your responsibility to take care of them because they've done nothing, right? And your neighbors, your immediate neighbors are going to be your biggest threat, especially if you live in the city and especially if you live in suburbia. Because in suburbia, I lived in suburbia, guys. My last house before I bought here, where I'm at here in downstate New York, you know, I lived in suburbia 8 years. And in those 8 years, my neighbors on the right or left hand side of me, it was, hey, how are you? That's it. They kept to themselves. They had their own family. They had their kids in and out of there all the time. They didn't want to be involved with anybody. They didn't want to get to know you, nothing. And they lived right next door. On the other side, the girls were friends, and so they spent time together a lot. So we kind of knew them. Had a one neighbor across the street that I got along with really well, but everybody else they kept to themselves. They didn't want to be involved. If you saw them, you'd wave, and that was it. And that's it. And that's so when you get into a situation, if you haven't established good relationships with your neighbors, they're a threat to you because they're going to see. So here was my biggest concern living in suburbia. I had put an insert in my wood stove or fireplace. I had a fireplace, so I put the insert in the fireplace. I went from 10% efficient to 90% efficient. So most of the heat then was coming back into the house. If it was wintertime, we would keep our thermostats at the lowest levels, and we basically spent the majority of our time in that living area where the wood stove was or the fireplace was with the insert, and it would be 80 degrees in there constantly. So it was awesome. I had insulated the attic, and that made a huge difference, summertime and wintertime, with our electric bill. I mean, it was crazy the difference just by putting in, 6 or 8 inches of foam insulation all up in that attic. It was crazy how that made a difference. But getting off point here, my point is, I would take my garage, and I never parked a vehicle in the garage. I always kept my wood in the garage. When I got to a point where I had too much wood in the garage, the wood went behind the garage under tarps. So I would have 7, 8 face cord of wood in the garage, probably another 4 or 5 face cord behind the house. So, like, if you were driving by, you didn't see it. But now, if you were my neighbor behind me on the street behind me and saw into my backyard, obviously you could see I had wood. But in an SHTF situation, it's wintertime, let's say, you don't have any heat because you don't have a wood stove or stuff like that. But you look over to your neighbor's house and you see that smoke coming out of the chimney. They're warm. They have heat. They can stay warm. That is something that is a red flag, a huge red flag, because what happens is people will get bitter. They'll get angry. How dare they have something and we don't? That's not right. That's not fair, right? Think about this, guys. People are going to justify in an SHTF event whatever they have to do to get whatever they need to get, and they will justify why they did it. And that's a fact. I want you to think about this. You're my neighbor. SHTF happens, okay? You don't know what I have, but you might have an idea, right? Your kids are starving. I mean, they're starving. They're crying. They're going to bed hungry. Their stomachs may be starting to bloat up, right? I got stuff. I do, right? You may not know exactly what I have, but I have stuff. So you're going to come to me, first of all. You're going to come to me and be like, hey, neighbor, listen, I know you have stuff here. Could you help me out? And if I turn him away and say, no, I'm not helping you out because I have to take care of my family. That's what's important. My family's important. What's going to happen is bitterness, resentfulness, anger, and eventually, they're going to come and try to take. All right. So remember what I've said before. Okay. The most dangerous person in a post event, the most dangerous person in the post event is somebody who is scared and desperate. That's your most dangerous person, not your Green Beret, not your guy that ex-military knows how to handle his business, all that type of stuff. He is not your biggest threat because generally he's got a plan. He's prepared to a degree because of just his training alone. But that person that is desperate and scared will do whatever they have to do. And if their kids are starving and they know you have food, they're going to come and they're going to try to take it. So those are the ones in a post event, immediately in a post event, that are going to be the biggest threat. And that is why I have constantly encouraged you guys to be part of a group. Get organized. If you don't have a group, create a group. If you know somebody that has a group, get involved with that group if you can while there's still time. Because when things go belly up, those people, like my group members that are in my group, the game plan is load up, get to me as quickly as they possibly can. And there's going to be that safety in numbers. You're going to have people that are like-minded, that are on the same mental place that you're at, realizing what we need to do, that we need to have each other's back in those type of things. All right, that's what you got to think about. You know, and I know there's a lot of people that say, you know, they don't have anybody, there's no group in their area and stuff like that. You know, a lot of my members are not coming from short distances; they're coming from distances. And but without hope, here's what I want you to remember, folks. Okay, without hope, you have nothing. You have nothing. So SHTF happens, right? SHTF has happened. Your plan was to bug in. All of a sudden, there's people going house to house, and they're burning, and they're looting, and they're raping, and they're killing everybody in their path. And they're 15, 20 houses away. Are you going to stand your ground and fight your good fight and go out within the blaze of glory? Or are you going to bug your butt out of there, right? You're probably going to bug out because you want to live. You want your family to live. You want your wife and your children to live. So you're probably going to bug out. But if you don't have that plan in place ahead of time, where are you going? What are you going to do? You're bugging out, great. But if you have no plan, nowhere to go, you're screwed. You are screwed. Now, you might get lucky. You might be able to be in that house 6 months and be able to low key it and get by and do what you got to do. But eventually, there will be people coming that have organized. Now they've organized. The bad actors are going to organize. They're going to, no doubt in my mind. What do you? And I'm going to give you an example. Okay, I've been around biker gangs a long time. I know what biker gangs are like. I know what they do and stuff like that. In an SHTF event, they already call each other brother. They're already all working together now. What do you think that they're going to do in a post event? They're going to work together. A lot of them are ex-military, and that's why they want to be part of that society and lifestyle, because they want that camaraderie. They want that brotherhood and sisterhood. All right. And there's nothing wrong with wanting brotherhood and sisterhood. But what they're going to do whatever they want, and nobody's going to stop them. Now, another threat, and I think JJ threw it up here, and I did want to bring this up as well. Let's talk about the junkies. Let's talk, and these are immediate threats after an SHTF event, because they won't be around long. Either they're going to detox or they're going to die. One of the two. They're either going to overdose, they're going to die of lead poisoning, any of those type of things. Okay. And how will you vet people in a post event? That's going to be okay. That's a really, really awesome question, Lori. And there is going to be, it's going to be tough. People are going to get interviewed. They're going to get interviewed again and again and again. They would not be put in positions of trust. So I'm going to give you an example. And this is, I have my group of people. I got my mag. All right. And these are people that are coming down every month to my property in West Virginia. We're working together. We're getting to know each other. We're seeing how well we can do things together, work on projects, uh, eating together, seeing everybody's getting along. All right. So now SHTF happens. That's my inner core. That's my core group of people. Okay. I've been working with them. I have trust for them. I know they got my back. I know they know I have their back. Okay. We're going to probably end up with more people in the group after a post event. Those people are not going to be in positions of trust until they've earned it. And you have to be careful with that. It's not like you're going to walk somebody, brand new person, around the compound and say, here's where this is. Here's where that is. This is where this is. They're not going to have access to those type of things because they're not in, if you want to, let's call it the circle of trust, okay, for a lack of something better to think about. The people that have been working with me, that I've been working with, they are in that circle of trust. And I trust them. They're going to trust me. Any new people coming in, they're going to earn that trust. And it's going to take time. And we're going to see who pans out and who doesn't pan out, because there will be people that are not going to pan out. So again, the importance of establishing a group, getting into a group now and developing those relationships. Everybody's going to be on edge in a post event. Everybody's hackles are going to be up. There's not going to be a tremendous amount of trust, so you have to really see how things go. Yes, either. Yeah, Okie Forge is correct 100%. He says, don't let new people be armed either. You're right. No, that's a privilege that's going to be earned. That's a privilege that's going to be earned. Yeah. So, yeah, because the last thing you want is to give somebody something and they turn it on you. That's not, so that's actually very, very good advice. But, these are things that all need to be thought about. There's a lot that goes into it. That's why for me, um, I get doing backgrounds to a point, but people are going to want certain uh, convicts on their side. Not necessarily, and the thing is, realistically, when you do a background check, and let's be 100% honest, when you do a background check on somebody, what you're seeing is what they got caught for. That's what you see. You see what they got caught for, you know, and that's the reality. My thing is, I do believe that people make mistakes. And if I do a background check, I'll give you an example. I do a background check on you, right? You want to be part of my group, I'm going to do a background check on you, and you have a drug conviction from 15 years ago, but you've had nothing since then. So you're telling me you're clean, you got away from that lifestyle, you learned your lesson and stuff like that. I do believe in second chances. I absolutely do. Now, are you going to watch that person? Absolutely. What if they arrive carrying? Would you expect them to surrender? Absolutely, absolutely. If they want to come into the, first of all, they would be met way away from the main compound. That would be number one. And if they wanted to come in to talk, they're not coming in there armed. Absolutely not. So yeah, if they wanted to keep some of their people back out, stay back, and one or two come in to discuss, then that was what we would do. So yeah, no, they would not be coming in there armed. They would have to surrender their weapons. And if they were going to leave, then we would give them their weapons back when they left. But the point that I'm making is, you know, I do believe people make mistakes. I think there is redemption. There should be. If they haven't got, if I do a background check on you, and in the last year you've been arrested 6 times with 3 convictions for theft, petty larceny, assault, you're not going to be part of my group. Okay, that's a no-brainer. I don't want those type of people. I don't want those type of people because what'll end up happening is you're going to end up having to deal with that situation afterwards anyway, and it may not be good. So or they may try to take care of you. So those are things that you have to really you really have to watch and pay attention for. You must expect someone in your group to bring tag-alongs. You are correct, and we've discussed that actually as the group. I've discussed that with them. Yes, um, because so here's I'm going to give you. So you got great questions tonight. By the way, I just want you to know that awesome questions. And these are things I'm telling you what I've been like. I think about all these things all the time. So here's Joe, part of my group over here. Joe's a great guy. I love Joe. Joe and his wife come down. They're part of every meeting. SHTF happens. All of a sudden, Joe shows up and he's got John and Joni with him. Well, these are my neighbors, Ed, and they're really good people, and I love them, and I couldn't leave them behind because I know if they left them behind, they're dead meat, right? So now, what happens then? Well, if they want to be part of what we're doing, and if they want to be involved, obviously, again, as we stated earlier, they're not getting a weapon right away. They would be doing more of the manual labor work. That's being honest. They're going to earn their place. They're going to show that they deserve to have a meal every day because we have food. We're going to have food on site. We're going to be able to be self-sufficient for hopefully a long period of time. And so if somebody comes in and they're bringing extra people, those things have to, you got to earn your place. Pam in Wonderland, I am blessed and have enough family to run a whole homestead, but homestead networking is the utmost importance. That's another great point. And thank you for bringing that up. And I have talked about that in the past. Thank you for the donation as well. Networking. Networking is going to be huge. You know, networking is going to be absolutely huge. And so making relationships, and we're going to do egg count here in just a minute, guys. So I wanted to make this point. I want to talk about this. If you can have other groups that you know about and you can agree to work together in a post event, you know, that I think that is a really, really important thing, a really important thing to forge those relationships now, agree to work together, not have hostilities, because the last thing you want to have is I have my group here and there's another group 15 miles away and now we're at loggerheads, and eventually, you know, there may be conflict, and you don't want to have that if you can't help it. You know, that may not be the case. Maybe, you know, you may work it out right away pretty good, but again, in a post event, people are going to be very, very suspicious. There's going to be zero trust in all those type of things. So those are things that people really do need to think about as well. All right. So, and there's limited supplies, and that's what you got to think about as well. You know, it's how prepared you are, it's how ready you are when things went down. All right, let's do egg count real quick. So if you guys want to put your guesses up there, yes or no for thick neck and how many eggs today, that would be great. So give you guys a minute to get your guesses up there. All right, where am I here? All right, give you guys another minute to get your guesses. If you had, I'm checking the Yankee score just so you know what's he doing. I'm checking the Yankee score. If you have the same guess as Jen Boyles with 6 eggs and yes for thick neck today, then you are 100% correct. So that is where we are at with that. She was one of the first eggs today too. When I went out there the first time and got 2, she was one of the 2. So pretty steady. Between 6 and 8 eggs has been like lately what we've been getting. So, but anyway, so that is it. Hey John, how you doing tonight, buddy? So Jen Boyles, congratulations, you've won absolutely nothing except bragging rights until the next live stream. So I got to tell you this, it just let's see what. Oh, thank you, I appreciate it. No, I love my bike. That is my toy. Yep, paid that off a long time ago. Paid that off a while ago. So somebody had said to me, "Why don't you sell the bike and do this or do that?" No, you can come back 10 years from now, and I will still have that bike. There's no doubt that bike is going to be with me. One day, Heather will inherit that bike. So, but no, I love riding. I absolutely love riding. When that'd be like selling your soul, exactly, and that ain't happening. Heather loves to ride. Actually, when she got out of work tonight, I picked her up on the bike. So, yeah, she loves to ride. Actually, we already making plans for next year. All right. So the big trip for me next year, I'm definitely going to Sturgis again. And I think I've talked about this. JJ said he wants to join me on that ride, which would be cool. So definitely going to Sturgis, right? So Heather will be going with me to Sturgis next year. So she will be riding with her dad, and I think that'd be a fun trip. And we're going to take a couple weeks, and we're going to go out before Sturgis starts, be there for the first part of Sturgis. See, here's the key, guys, okay? If you wait until it's the week of Sturgis and don't go early, if you go early, when you go early, you're able to see all the different things that you want to see without huge crowds, and you're, and having not being able to see everything. All right. If you go when all the crowds are there, you're going to be waiting forever. Mount Rushmore, for an example, you forget about it. When the crowds are all there, it's insanity. But if you go when everybody's not there, then it's a really cool thing. So I saw quite a few things when I went out this last year. When I went out, did Mount Rushmore, did I went out to Devil's Tower, that was awesome. And did those type of things. Uh, different, going up to the Black Hills, up through there. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing, and it's beautiful. So, but hey, Pam in Wonderland, imagine we all went electric cars and the government turns off power. What control they would have? Oh yeah, yeah. Well, first, again, all electric cars in the entire country is a freaking pipe dream. Until they overhaul the power grid, that's never ever going to happen. Thank you very much for the donation and the statement as well. Look what's happening right now, guys, in California. They're talking right now in California. They're telling their people that are out there, don't charge your cars because there's such a drain on the power grid because of the hot temperatures and stuff that they don't want them. It's in crisis situation out there. So, and now of course, California is going to be banning selling electric cars as of 2035, and it's just like I said, it's a freaking pipe dream. Until they do something where they upgrade, it would take trillions, trillions of dollars to overhaul the entire power grid. And it's yeah, they're banning selling gas cars, yes, in California. And I heard Virginia wants to follow suit as well, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, but how do they expect people to get around if you have only an electric car and they're telling you not to use the electricity to charge your car? you know, it doesn't. It's just nuts. It's just nuts. But we're in a heat warning, and you can't charge cars or use big appliances from 4 to 9 p.m. Gotcha. Thank you, Lori, for sharing that with us. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. So again, do you have a backup system that you can use just to charge your car? I mean, and again, it's like, now you're looking at the cost of setting that up and having solar and all those type of things. It is not it's not an easy thing at all. That is not an easy thing at all. So yeah, none of it makes any sense. Yeah, I would open a new car lot at the other side of the border. Oh, I'm sure. But again, what they're probably going to do, my guess would be, is they're not going to allow new cars to be registered that are gas cars after that date. That I don't know how they're going to do it. Banning the sale of cars. It doesn't, like you said, somebody go out of state, buy a car out of state, and then what are you going to do? You're going to register it in that state and bring it back. You could probably do that, but you need to have an address to do that. So hey, Troy, thank you very much for the donation, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. But yeah, like I said, they're feeding us a line of crap. Oh, God, I wanted to mention this one. I don't know if you guys saw this, and I honestly never wish bad on anybody. Never wish bad on anybody. But this individual, um, it's too bad it's not worse. That's all I can say. And like I said, I don't hate anybody, but I have a strong dislike for this person. Jane Fonda, if anybody of you know who she is, uh, better known as Hanoi Jane, during the Vietnam War. While our young men and women were over fighting for their lives, she's over there with the North Vietnamese and doing propaganda stuff. She met with prisoners of war that slipped her their information, and she promptly gave it to the Viet Cong. As a direct result, a lot of those men were beaten, some died because of that. Okay. She's a piece of crap. I don't like Jane Fonda. I won't watch anything that Jane Fonda does. Um, I just, I don't like her. Okay. Well, she just diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. All right. And she was like, thank goodness, there's an 80% chance that she's going to survive. So she's been undergoing chemotherapy for 6 months, but she's still going to be involved with the whole green thing. Screw you, Jane Fonda. Too bad it wasn't a cancer that you had, and I mean butt cancer, that just ate you alive and you were in agony. I'm sorry. Like I said, I don't wish bad on anybody, but one person that deserves to go out absolutely painfully and horribly would be her, just because of what she's done. You don't forget those things. I'm sure there's a lot of Vietnam veterans out there that feel the same exact way I do. Anybody that goes against people like that, she's a piece of crap, and she deserves nothing. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. Somebody like her, she's a piece of garbage. So, but yeah. So yeah, She's not a. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. But yeah. So anyway, so that's. I know. It's like I'm all about loving each other and peace and trying to work together. But when you have somebody that directly causes harm to service members like that, I have a huge, huge problem with that. I have a huge problem with that. So, and that she walks around with her nose in the air thinking that she's better than everybody else, just can't do it. So, but you know, that's just my take. So, I didn't really have a problem with Peter Fonda. Like I said, but what she did directly by going over there and doing what she did, that I have a problem with it. And I know she's 85 years old now, but don't matter how old she is, she's still guilty for what she did. Okay, and I don't that for what she did when it cost soldiers their lives. There's no forgiveness. No forgiveness. You can see. And here's the best part. Okay, I will support your right if you want to be anti-war, whatever, any war. You want to be anti-war, fine, be anti-war. But don't go over to the enemy country and be used for propaganda and to, do bad things to hurt your own fellow American citizens. That's where I have a problem with it. That's just that's where I'm at with that. So, but yeah, I just not like I said, just not a huge fan. But I saw that you know that she had that cancer, and you know I just in my head I'm like, why couldn't it have been worse? I mean, it's terrible to think that way, but that's just the way I think. When too many good people, hardworking people that deserved the world, have to suffer and go through misery, and she gets every privilege in the world still, and then she was still doing shows and all that kind of crap. No, sorry, it's just I did hear a story, and I want to share this story with you. I think that they were in Colorado, and it was some upscale restaurant. So she was with Ted Turner still at the time, and they had come in and they wanted a table, and the waitresses said, well, the restaurant is full. You're going to have to wait. Well, and then of course we got, do you know who I am? So she dropped her name. I'm Jane Fonda, blah, blah, blah. And this is Ted Turner. And so the owner of the restaurant comes out and he said to her, I'm a Vietnam veteran and you're a piece of SH. Get the hell out of my restaurant and don't ever come back. So I thought that that was awesome. I thought that that was awesome. So, you know, but now, Ed, if you don't like someone, just pray to the universe that they get what they deserve. Karma will always come around. I do believe that too. I do believe that too. But Ed, the Vietnam veterans did not get a friendly welcome home. No, they didn't. And they were drafted. They were not volunteers. So yeah. So I just, you know, like I said, anybody that serves, that sacrifices their time, that risk their life going into combat, that have given the ultimate sacrifice, their life. They come back maimed in all kinds of issues. They will always get my respect. As a veteran, now I did not see combat. I've talked about this. I will never, ever play that like, oh yeah, I've seen combat. I didn't. Okay, I never saw combat. But there's a lot of my brothers and sisters out there that served that did, and they will always have my respect. Always, especially over a piece of garbage like Jane Fonda. Okay, so that's just my take on that. Anyway, don't even get me started. Don't make me get my soapbox out. I'm gonna get my soapbox out. I'm gonna put it down. I'm gonna get up on it. Uh, anyway, let's do shout out time. And of course, as you know, my list is in West Virginia, so we're gonna have to wing it. But we're gonna start out with Icky Can up in Canada. Really, really good guy. I would ask you to support him. He is he's a good dude and got a good channel up there. So I would ask you to follow him. You also have Angry Prepper down in New York City. Jason is awesome. Love Jason. Says it like it is. No BS. And I love that. You also have North Shore Preparedness. You have Alaska Prepper with Rudy. You have Alaska Granny. A couple good channels. North Shore Preparedness, also up in Canada. You have Sean James and My Self Reliance, two different channels, same guy. A lot of cool stuff that he's doing. Love watching him build his home and doing what he's doing. Mary Greeley News is awesome as well. A lot of good information on the earthquakes and the updates of that. We have 80K Man up in the Adirondacks. There is Bizariza Jizza also, who does the Carrington Chronicles. You have Bushcraft Bear. Now, somebody said he has moved to Germany now. So I guess that is where he's at. You have Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods, husband and wife team. They are awesome. Two different channels, but a lot of good information with them. You have Southern Prepper 1. You have Green Greg's. There is Bjorn Hansen. Corporal's Corner is another really good channel. You have Survival Lily. There is, oh, goodness gracious, Kyle's Cabin with Kyle and Sierra. There's the Nomadic Movement down in Panama. They're a really good channel as well. I think I said Southern Prepper 1. I may not have. You also have Green Greg's is another really good channel. You have Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Love Diamond as well. East Tennessee Preparedness. You have Marfugal News out on the West Coast with Adam and Dax. There is Wrangle Star, another really good channel as well. You have Doug and Stacy. They have a great channel. Definitely check them out as well. Ryan Hall, y'all, with the weather. If you want to stay up to breast on the weather, he's a great guy to do that. You have Townsend's. There is the Fit Farmer. You have, let me see, who am I not thinking of? Oh gosh. Camping with Steve Wallace. We all know what he's going through right now. Really good guy as well. You have Adapt 2030. There is Boss of the Swamp, another good channel. I've been watching him for a long, long time. Pinball Preparedness, love pinball as well, really good dude. Prepper Nation, Deep South Homestead, the Green Dream Project out in Arizona. You have Magic Prepper in North Dakota, Bear Independent. I think I said Adapt 2030 already. The Economic Ninja. There is City Prepper is another one. So a lot of great channels out there, a lot of great information. I think we should all be supporting each other, and I think that is a good thing if we do that. Uh, Pretty sure I know I probably have missed somebody that I normally say. Monkey Works, yep, there's another one. Thank you. But Ice Age Farmer is another really good channel. So there's a lot of great information. Townsend's, yep, I think I said them. I believe, not 100% sure. I don't remember. But anyway, there's a lot of great information. We should look at other people's channels. Patera, yes, Appalachian Homestead. I did forget about her. So, but a lot of good information out there. Looking at different perspectives, I think, is a good thing. So we should absolutely do that. All right. Oh, I didn't say Russell Brand. Right. How could I forget Russell Brand? Love Russell Brand. He makes people think, which I think is a great thing. Really good dude. I think he's awesome. And that's just, like I said, that's my take on him. And so we should be supporting him as well. He's got like almost 6 million subscribers to his channel already. I did say Deep South Homestead already. So, all right. So that's it for the shout outs, guys. And we will move on from there. But yeah, there, like I said, there a lot of good information. I think that it is important. Oh, Heather, I forgot Heather with her Etsy channel. Yes, Heather does jewelry. She also makes cat hats and she does knitting as well. So definitely check her out over there. And I was 4 years old when my uncle went to Vietnam in '69. He did 3 tours in all. He's 72 now. His kidneys are failing. I probably won't get to see him again. Well, at least he made it through that, and you did get to share some time with him, which is a good thing. But yeah, it's though if he did 3 tours, he went through some crap. I'm sure he went through some crap. So, but yeah, so yep, JJ's got Heather's link up there if you guys want to check out her stuff. All right. Ed, isn't your birthday next Friday? No, my birthday is in June. I am a Gemini. I am a Gemini. June 9th. That is mine. So, next week, Becky's birthday is coming up. She will be 56 on the 14th. Yep. So Becky's birthday is not too far down the road here. But Sharon Barrett said also a Gemini, June 20th. But you're a cusp. You're a cusp baby. So you probably have Gemini traits and then whatever is after Gemini. I can't think of what the next one after Gemini is. See, I'm like hardcore Gemini. I'm like right in the middle. So, but anyway, I'm going to continue like I always do. I want to continue to encourage you guys to do what you can to help yourselves get ready as much as you possibly can. We never know what's going to happen here. So it's really um, Scorpio. That's what my twins are. Eddie and Heather are Scorpios. So, yeah. Yep, they are Scorpios. But so Capricorn JJ or J Meyer says he's a Capricorn. Very nice. So Capricorn men are okay. All right. My first wife was a Capricorn, and I dated a girl that was a Capricorn after her. That don't work. That doesn't work so much. Not so good. Not so good. And my second wife was a Pisces. Actually, Pisces is a good fit for me. That just, after 11 years, it just wasn't working anymore, though. But that's what happens. Oh, we don't want to even get into, you don't even want to, China ready to pull the trigger on Taiwan. They fired at a U.S. Navy ship. Oh, I didn't know that, JJ. Yeah, that would be something that we really need to be paying attention to. I think that when China is ready, they're going to go and they're going to take it, and they don't care. And I think that it's going to be a very bad situation. And I think our worthless president will do nothing. That's my take. I think our worthless president will do nothing. So, but yeah, that's just. And if he does, it'll be a lackluster response. How about that? If there's actually something done, but that would pull us into a very very bad situation. Uh, that would be a very bad situation. So again, that would be another reason to continue to prep, continue to be ready, because we just don't know. We don't know how much time we got, guys. And if we get into a war situation, a true war situation, things are going to be bad. Things are going to be bad, you know. But yeah, but he has tons of money to give away. Yeah, and not take care of the United States, which should be the number one priority. We should be making what we need here in the United States and not outsourcing it to all these other countries. It just puts us in such a vulnerable spot doing so, and not a good thing. Not a good thing. But anyway, all right, let's do this. We are Legion. We are many. We are all over the world. We're a huge network of people. Where is everybody from tonight? Pleasant Plain, Ohio. Montreal, Quebec, Canada, Nowhere, Oklahoma, Inverness, Florida. There's Clyde. You're like fifth tonight, Clyde. Melbourne, Australia. Good day, Clyde. We have Denmark in the house, Vegas, St. Augustine, Florida, Minnesota, Waterloo, New York, Tucson, Arizona, Central Arizona, Southwest Ohio, or Iowa, sorry, St. Louis, Ulster Park, New York, Verone, BC, Canada, Hillsboro, Oregon, Southern Idaho, BC, Canada, Vegas is in the house, Carlisle in the UK, Erin, Tennessee, New Jersey, Adams, Kentucky, West Virginia, Campbell, Missouri, Bumstead, Florida, Missouri in the Ozarks, Kansas is in the house, New Vineyard, Maine, very nice, Trenton, Florida, North Highlands of California, West Central Ohio, Southwest Oklahoma, Wichita, Kansas, Gulf Coast of Florida, Missouri in the Ozarks, Jerusalem, Israel. Very cool. Glad to have you here, man. Appreciate you. Ocala, Florida, Dayton, Ohio, East Central Illinois, Fort Worth, Texas, North Carolina, Shelton, Washington, Cape Cod, Massachusetts, Wallace, Idaho, very nice, Northwest Florida. We have Southwest Oklahoma is in the house. So just reading these names that I've read so far, we are all over the freaking place. We have New Hampshire, Abbottville, Louisiana. Let's see. We truly are a huge, huge network. Lake East, Ohio, Orange, California. We're all over the country. We're all over the world. Claremont, New Hampshire. We are an organization of people that have been prepped and ready for a while, and I think that that's a great thing. We have North Texas is in the house, and I think we should continue to try to do the best we can. Try to reach out to as many people as we can, and help people if we can. Upper East Tennessee, Mars. It feels like, yeah, right. I know you wake up some days and you go, "What is going on here?" But I think that, like I said, again, we're the ones that can make a difference. We can make a difference now, and I think that we can. Did you get your Danish flag yet? When did you send it? When did? Because I'll have to go back to the PO box when I get back down to West Virginia and check. White Sulphur Springs, Montana, very nice. South Alberta, Canada, very cool. North Carolina. So, oh, he's asking if I have one. I do not have one. No. So if you would like to send me one, I'd love to. I got to get flags flying in West Virginia. I got plenty of trees I can put them on. So, but yeah, now I got to get the flags going again. Prince Edward Island in Canada, very nice. But anyway, guys, we can make a difference now by trying to open people's eyes, and I think we should still try to do it, even though a lot of times they fall on deaf ears. I also believe that in a post event, we're the ones that are going to help to educate people, to help them to help themselves. And I think that that is an important thing. I really, really do. We may not be able to help them out a ton, but we can show them a way. And again, and I'm going to say this, and we had talked about this earlier in the stream. If you have a mag and you have a group, or you're just a family, you will end up taking in people. Um, you need a rebel flag. I already got one, Jay. I already got one, which I got to put up down there. I already got it. So, yeah, I already have that. And the reason I fly it is for not the reasons that people think. So, I fly it because it is the last time in this country that Americans stood up and said they were not taking the government's crap anymore. That's why I fly the Confederate flag. Okay, or the battle flag of Virginia. Let's be clear. Let's get all the people that are like locked in. Well, it's really this. Well, great, but it ain't nothing to do with racism or race or any of that nonsense. But that's things that you are fed in the media. So people see that and they believe it, and then they just go from there, which is nuts. Instead of actually thinking for themselves, heaven forbid. Well, let's see why this person does this. And I will tell you this: one of the reasons that I do like to fly it as well, because it triggers weak-minded people, and it does every single time that I fly it. It triggers the weak-minded people. Mom is doing good. Mom is doing real good. I talked to mom quite a bit. She is, and it's funny. My mom slays me. I mean, absolutely slays me, and I will tell you why. All right. I've been prepping for since 2005. That's when I got into prepping. I was raised on a farm. We always had a full stock pantry, so it's kind of in the mindset of prepping anyway. But I really got hardcore into prepping after Hurricane Katrina in 2005. I've talked about prepping forever and a day. Mom has heard me talk about prepping forever and a day. But until her religious leaders in her church said, you need to do this and you need to do that. And then she'll say to me, she'll say, oh, well, the brothers said that we need to do this, or the association said that we need to do that. And I'm like, really? Really? The same stuff I've been telling you for years, and now you're going to do it because they told you? That drives me nuts. Drives me nuts. But what are you going to do? Hey, Prepper Mama from Central Florida. So yes, yeah. It's she kills me. I love her to death, but she kills me. But Charlene Jackson from Western New York, very nice. So anyway, guys, I want to thank my moderators who do an absolutely awesome job keeping this chat clean. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you very much for what you do, ladies and gentlemen. It really does mean a lot to me, and I do really, truly appreciate it. Also, I want to thank all of you guys for being here, because without you here, I wouldn't be here doing these streams. So I thank you for the support that way as well. It really does mean a lot to me. I enjoy these chats that we have, sharing information. Great, great questions in the chat tonight. So I want to make sure I acknowledge that. Do you plan on having flags in both places? Possibly. I don't know 100% for sure. We'll have to see. I got a couple, like I said, I got a couple flags down there right now. And maybe what I'll do is new flags come in to the West Virginia P.O. box. I'll put them up. So if you would like for me to fly your flag, obviously I'm not going to fly, certain flags. I don't want state flags. I don't want those. But whatever country, your ancestry, if you're from Puerto Rico, if you are from Mexico, if you are from Canada, wherever, whatever country that you originate from or are from, if you want to send me your flag, I'd be more than happy to fly it. Okay, so that's where I am with that. So anyway, guys, remember, we are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. I think that people need to remember that. I think sometimes people lose sight of that, but I think that that is an important thing. Also, remember, yes, she is. Yes, she is. Yep. But yeah, Syrian, yes. If you're from Syria and you send me your flag and you're from Syria, I would fly the flag. It's not about, see, and this is where we get into the semantics and stuff. If I had a subscriber who is Chinese and they send me a flag from China, I will fly that flag. The Deutschland, of course, I definitely would love to see the flag of Germany. Yes, please. So, yeah, whatever country you're from, I do not discriminate. You know, because of the politics of whatever government is in charge does not represent all the people. So, there we go. Yeah, don't be bringing no Red Sox flag down there, Angela. You know better than that. Well, we do need fire starters, so that might be a good thing. All right, guys. Um, Also remember, hug and kiss the ones that you love. You got me all off track. Hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. Last but not least, STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to do. Yes, I would love the Brit flag. Yes, if you would send me the Union Jack, I would absolutely fly that. Military flags, yes, as well. I will fly those. Marine Corps, Air Force, Navy, and Army. I will fly all those as well. Yes, I will fly those. So, but yes. So if you want to send those guys down to West Virginia P.O. Box, I will definitely fly them. Okay. So I hope you all have a great night. Be safe. I will see you on the next one. Prepperners 1 out for now.